What makes EsDeeKid's sound so addictive and novel? So the first thing that anyone says about EsDeeKid's music when they first hear it is, what's with the accent? The man has a heavy Liverpudlian or Scouse accent, which, yeah, is one of the best accents in the world. Is that xenophilia? Maybe, sorry. It's just my preference. And whilst there is something satisfying and brain-scratchy about hearing him put a triplet feel on words like cannabis and camarus and canistus,
I'm smoking cannabis, keep dodging all these cameras. My chromas goes rockies of coke, I'm huffing up these canisters.
or Canada, or stamina, or calendar, and again for good measure, canister.
Too much smoke, keep coming like Canada. Got kush smoke hard in me lungs, I'm running from club, but I'm lacking the stamina. I'm whipping it smart, the knocks in the air, got me gonna come fuck with a canister. No days off, I was plotting with nothing, and money all over me calendar. In this game of life,
The thing that really hooked me is the production, which is mainly handled by Wraith9. Firstly, there's the addictive "okay" calling card, which is stamped all over his beats.
Okay.
But mainly, it's the way that all of his beats, including his vocals, have this claustrophobic atmosphere that makes it feel like every individual element, the ghostly synths, the overdriven 808s, and even EsDeeKid's vocal, is fighting for air. And that's because, on a technical level, that's kind of exactly what is happening. I have to get a little bit audio nerd here, but all of the tracks on Rebel are limited within an inch of their life, which is a huge part of the appeal for me. This is a mastering technique that is hugely frowned upon if you're going for pristine quality and clarity. But if you want your songs to sound like they're playing at full volume inside your first share house on the mismatched 6-speaker system compiled entirely out of $20 secondhand speaker sets from the 80s purchased at Goodwill, many of which feature ripped cones and missing rubber surrounds, this is the way you do it. So what is a limiter and how does it work with regard to audio? In the simplest terms, it's like a ceiling for audio volume. You set a limit on the limiter, and if a piece of audio tries to go louder than that limit, it instantly smushes it down to the level that you preset it at. So in a more conventional use case, say the odd rogue kick drum hit comes in a bit too loud. That kick will hit the ceiling of the limiter and be pulled back down in check so that it doesn't mess with the balance of the song. But what happens if literally every element of the song is louder than the limiter allows it to be? Well, that's when you get this claustrophobic vibe I was talking about, where every part of the song is fighting to get above the limiter's ceiling at the same time, and so the result is this constant battle between each element to be at the front and center of the mix, each time being decapitated by this ceiling. So you get frayed edges on the kick drums, you get vocal takes that are smeared across the stereo field, gasping for any free space in the audio spectrum to be heard. It also means that when there is no competition, for example, the synth plays without any drums, or a vocal line plays without anything at the same time, you suddenly get this opening up of the space, and that solo element pushes right up front and center. Nowhere is this more clear than on 5 AM, where you can very clearly hear the trance synth line get absolutely eviscerated out of the way by the 808 kick drum.
Okay.
And then again, the vocals go from crisp and loud without the 808 to choked out and clip distorted with it.
My Scouse tings rolling up the jabber. My Yankee one rolling up the grabber.
Okay.
I like my South ting, but she's been a yapper. I fuck 'em all back to back. Logo of Kappa. I'm a myth, like you lost your friend in Carney.
Okay.
And I fucking love it, bruh. I can't listen to EsDeeKid without imagining some kind of insane pressure cooker filled with all the requisite EsDeeKid components rumbling around on my kitchen bench on the precipice of exploding. Anyway, to me, this is why EsDeeKid rocks. It's also the reason that there is no way any of this shit would sound any good live. I'm confident a live EsDeeKid show would be full of energy but sound like absolute mush, and I'm actually glad that the upcoming Australian dates are sold out. Really.